we are going to be doing some old wives' tales to predict our baby's gender. And now it's going back and forth. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel if you guys are new here. If you are new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I am currently in my second trimester of pregnancy, exactly 24 weeks. And for today's video, we are going to be doing some old wives' tales to predict our baby's gender. To see if in fact these old wives' tales can predict our baby's gender before we find out our baby's gender at our big gender reveal party next weekend. So I have a list of old wives' tales on my phone, and I have our little scoreboard here. It's just a little whiteboard that I got from Walmart. So we're gonna go through the list on my phone and see what we get at the end. See if it's gonna be a boy or a girl according to old wives' tales. So let's just get right into it. First of all, comment down below if you've ever done a video like this or followed some old wives' tales and made a tally list. Did the old wives' tales predict your baby's gender, or was it wrong? Let me know in the comments below because I want to know. So the first one is all about cravings. Supposedly, if your cravings are sweet, it's supposed to be a girl, and if your cravings are salty, it's supposed to be a boy. Now, although I've craved both this time around, since this is my second pregnancy, if you guys didn't know, we're pregnant with baby number 2. I have definitely been less of the sweets and way more of the salty this time around. So we're gonna give that one to boy. Although I do still indulge in a sweet treat every now and again, I'm heavy on the salt and the proteins and the cheese and all that stuff. Especially McDonald's French fries. Those are gonna be the death of me, I swear. Morning sickness, no or yes? No, morning sickness is supposed to be a boy, and yes to morning sickness is supposed to be a girl. This one's a little bit tricky because in my first trimester, I felt so nauseous, but it wasn't just in the morning, it was like an all day, every day, 24/7. It was absolutely awful. I could barely eat anything, which sucked for obvious reasons. So I wouldn't exactly say I had morning sickness because it wasn't just in the morning, but I did get sick a couple times in the morning because I was so nauseous. It was more of like an all-day sickness, and yes, I had it. So I guess we're gonna give that one to girl because I cannot say I didn't have it at all. So the next one is all about sleep. Supposedly, if you're sleeping on your left side more often, it's supposed to be a boy, and your right side more often is supposed to be a girl. The left side of the bed is my side of the bed, and I tend to have my back to Chris and Skylar at night, so that means I've been sleeping more so on my left side, because that is the comfiest side for me right now, especially now that I have my pregnancy pillow. So we're gonna give that one to boy. Mom's complexion. Clear, beautiful skin is supposed to be boy, and breakouts are supposed to be girl. This one's also tricky because I've always had on and off like bad and good complexion. It depends on the season, it depends on my diet. Sometimes I go through periods where I'm breaking out a lot, sometimes not so often or less than other times. But I can't say I've had any major breakouts. So I feel like my skin's been pretty good and pretty clear, apart from the odd blackhead or pimple that'll show up after I do indulge in a sweet treat. But that's not out of the normal for my combination skin. So I'm gonna go with clear. Another one for boy. The next one is all about foot size. Apparently, if your foot size has increased, it's supposed to be a boy. And if your foot size has remained the same, then it's supposed to be a girl. My foot size has not changed. I'm only in my second trimester, but my feet haven't gotten swollen at all. So I guess we're gonna stay the same. And that one's Gonna have to go to girl. And the next one is all about heartbeat. If it's below 140, it's supposed to be a boy. And if it's above 140, then supposedly it's a girl. I feel like most of the heartbeats have been over 140 at this point. Every time we go to the doctor's office and they use their Doppler, it's been above 140. But every time I use my Doppler that I have at home to listen to the baby's heartbeat, it tells me it's been below 140. So that one's hard. Obviously my Doppler that I have at home doesn't work as good as the ones at the doctor's office, and they're not giving me exact rates. My maternity doctor just said she's been doing it for so long she can kind of guesstimate. So based off of that, we're gonna say boy. That one's a tricky one. Lots of tricky. I feel like that could be both. Should we put one for both? I'll put one for both. Headaches. If you have headaches, it's supposed to be a boy. If you don't have headaches, it's supposed to be a girl. Well, yes, I have been suffering from headaches and migraines, and let me tell you, it has not been a fun symptom to be dealing with this pregnancy. There was a couple weeks ago where I had such a bad headache that I did end up having to take some Tylenol, which I was trying to avoid, but it was just so bad that it was making me feel nauseous because it was so bad. So I've been trying to avoid having headaches by drinking lots of water, getting enough sleep, but the headaches still remain and they still come. So we're gonna give that one to boy. Emotion. Supposedly, if you're more smooth sailing with your emotions or more chill, it's a boy. And if you're more moody, it's a girl. Now, this one's funny because if I think about my pregnancy with my daughter, I was so moody, very ragey, very hormonal, and just like an absolute roller coaster. And although during this pregnancy, I've been very emotional, and it does still come in waves, I feel like I've been a lot more calm. And I even asked Chris this question the other day, and he kind of laughed, but when I said compare it to my pregnancy with Skylar May, he's like, oh, you've been far more chill this pregnancy. Like I don't just like there's not a whole lot of outbursts, there's not a whole lot of rage. If I do get emotional, it's usually in tears or me crying over something so silly. So we're gonna go with more chill. And that one's gonna go to boy. The next one is how you're carrying the baby. If you're carrying low, it's supposed to be a boy, and if you're carrying high, it's supposed to be a girl. Which is funny because again, with my daughter, I carried very low with her, and obviously she's a she. Kind of funny how that works out. This time around, I'm carrying very high, I would say. Let me just show you guys. This is belly, and yes, my pants do not do up, but they're still super comfy, so just ignore that. But this is the belly. I feel like it's very, very high this time around because this is where it starts, where with my daughter, I was very much just like around here. So we're very narrow, we're very round. So I would say I'm carrying high, but if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments below, because that one's a tough one. So I'm gonna say high, we're gonna give that one to girl. The next one is all about temperature. Supposedly, if you're cold all the time, it's supposed to be a boy, and if you're hot, it's a girl. That one is kind of silly because we're in the peak of summer right now, but I feel like overall, throughout my whole entire pregnancy, given the fact that I found out I was pregnant just on the cusp as winter was ending and we were entering into spring, I've been very cold. Like very, very cold. I haven't complained much about being hot, but I've definitely complained quite a few times about being chilly and cold. So that one goes to boy. Now, for whatever reason, the next one is all about dad's weight. Apparently, if the dads have stayed the same, it's a boy, and if they've gained weight, it's a girl. I'm not sure how the dads have a part in this when they're not the one carrying the child, but Chris has not gained any weight this pregnancy. So I guess that means that's a tick for boy. That one just seems so silly. Balance. Supposedly, if you've been super clumsy, it's a boy, and if you've been ever so graceful, it's a girl. Well, this time around, I can definitely say with confidence, I've been clumsy. I'm dropping things at work. I am tripping over my own feet. Some days it's a struggle. Like, if you work with me and you're watching this, you know, I've definitely dropped my fair amount of things since becoming pregnant. So this pregnancy has not been graceful whatsoever. I've made some messes. So that one is also going to go to boy. The next one is skin texture. Apparently, if you have dry skin, it's a boy, and if you have soft skin, it's a girl. Well, like I mentioned earlier, I have a combination of dry and oily skin. I feel like that has not changed since I've become pregnant. I do use moisturizer on my face. However, my coworker did like brush up against my arm the other day and comment that my arm was very soft. So I'm gonna take that as I have soft skin and give that one to girl. Because I wouldn't say that my skin's been overly dry, but again, we're in the peak of summer. I moisturize, so I don't really know. Cold feet. If you've had cold feet, it's a boy, and if you have not had cold feet, it's a girl. Well, I already said in regards to the temperature earlier that I've been complaining about being cold, and my feet are usually one of the things that are getting cold the most. So yeah, my feet have been cold. I'm gonna give that one to boy. Dad's intuition. Chris really wants a boy. His intuition is saying boy. He's been, you know, talking to my baby, saying buddy. The other day he said I was giving him bro vibes. So I don't know if that's just because he wants a boy so badly. He has said a couple times it's probably a girl, and he should mentally prepare himself for that because he's already surrounded by girls, but he more so thinks it's a boy. So dad's intuition is boy. And for mom's intuition, myself, that one's hard. I also would love to have a boy just because we already have our beautiful daughter. It would be amazing to have one of each. Who doesn't want one of each? And I know that we're gonna stop at 2, so this is gonna be it for us. So as much as I want a boy, there's like little inklings that I have that because I want a boy so bad, telling me that it's gonna be a girl, but I just can't shake the boy feeling because this pregnancy has been vastly different than my pregnancy with my daughter. Like the complete opposite, which leads me to believe that I am in fact having a boy. Especially at the beginning of my pregnancy, I was so convinced, but as time goes on, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like it could really go either way. I literally have no idea and no intuition at this point, but I'm gonna give that one to boy just because at the beginning I was so certain, even though now I'm not so sure. The next one is all about the color coordination of your outfit. So I guess if you've been wearing more light floral colors, pinky colors, feminine colors, it's a girl. And if you've been wearing more neutral colors, blues, blacks and whites, it's a boy. Well, what am I wearing today? We're wearing black, we're wearing white. There's some color in this, but it looks pretty blue to me. I've been wearing a ton of neutral colors, some blue and like a couple of pink, just because that's what I have in my wardrobe. But if I look back on pictures with my pregnancy with my daughter, I was definitely wearing more pink and more floral colors, which is funny because this time around, it's been the opposite. I've been wearing more whites and blacks, more neutral colors, like browns and beiges and blues. So that one's gonna go to boy. All right, and then the last test of our Old Wives' Tales is going to be the ring test. Now, my sister has done this test on me a handful of times already because she is absolutely obsessed and she stands by the ring test. However, she's done it with one of her necklaces, not my own, and she's done it on my wrist. And if you guys are familiar with the ring test, you know it'll tell you, it's supposedly supposed to tell you not only the gender of the baby that you're having if you're pregnant, but it also tells you like the order of genders you're gonna have and how many kids you're gonna have. So the ring test can be done on pregnant people, but also really anybody. And she's done it on everyone. She's done it on me when I was pregnant with my daughter, and it said I was having a girl, and then it said I was gonna have a boy. And she's done it on me this time around through this pregnancy as well. Not over my belly yet, but on my wrist, and it is again said girl and then boy. So I'm gonna do it on myself with one of my necklaces, my personal necklaces. And this necklace was actually passed down to me by my grandmother Stuart, who is no longer with us anymore. But this necklace has very sentimental value. So this is the necklace that I'm going to use because I have faith that it will not do me wrong. I'm going to lean back and do it over my belly, and I am expecting either it to say girl and then boy, or just start doing boy. Maybe we should do it on my wrist and then my belly and see if there's a difference. The point of the ring test is if you hold it straight, you don't move an inch. It's supposed to start going in a circle on its own if it's a girl. Back and forth, whether it's this way or this way, I don't really think it matters, but back and forth is a boy. And we've done the ring test many of times before, and it's kind of creepy how it works that way. I've never done it on myself, so let's see what happens here. This is let's just see. We're gonna do it on my wrist first and see if there's a difference. I just have to make sure we get this puppy pinned straight. Okay, so it's going in a circle. I have no idea if you guys can see that. I'm not moving it. So that's my daughter. It's supposed to stop or calm down and then start going back and forth for boy or girl. Okay, it stopped. And now it's going back and forth. So I guess that means there's a boy in my belly. Okay, so according to my wrist, I've got my beautiful daughter, that checks out. Now I'm gonna have a boy. So let's hold it over my belly and see if it does the exact same thing, girl then boy, or if it just starts saying boy, or if it just starts saying girl. It's just going side to side. It's going the other way than it was on my wrist, but it is just going side to side. And then it stopped, and now it's going the other way, front to back. So I guess my grandmother's trying to send me a message and tell me you're having a boy. So that means, according to the ring test, both ways, we're having a boy. Look at this tally. That is a lot for boy and minimal for girl. There's 5 for girl and there is 14 tallies for boy. So I guess we're just gonna have to see at the gender reveal party next weekend if, according to these old wives' tales, we're having a boy and they work and it's true, or if we're gonna be surprised with our second baby girl. I guess only time will tell, and you guys are gonna have to wait to find out as well. So this video was super, super interesting and super fun. I've been waiting to do this video until it gets close to our gender reveal and doing the ring test was super fun to do on myself, and just confirmed that yes, that previous intuition that I've had that we're gonna have a boy is still there. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you have not yet already. Click your bell notification so you don't miss our gender reveal video coming up soon. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.